Have you ever wondered how your everyday sliced bread is actually made? We see it in every kitchen, soft, neatly sliced, and ready for toast or a quick sandwich. But how does it go from a bunch of wheat grains to those perfect slices packed in a bag? What happens inside the big bread factories, and how do they slice it all so evenly? In this simple and fun guide, we'll take you behind the scenes to show how sliced bread is made, step by step, using easy words and a friendly tone. You'll be surprised at how much work goes into making something we often take for granted. If you love learning cool stuff like this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on more everyday secrets. A brief history of bread. Bread has been a part of our lives for a very long time. In fact, it goes back more than 5,000 years. The first kind of bread was made by the ancient Egyptians. They found out that if you mix flour with water and bake it, you get a tasty and filling food. It was simple but very useful, and that basic idea is still the same even today. But something big happened in 1928. An American baker came up with a clever machine that could slice bread into even pieces. This made bread much easier to eat and store. People loved the idea right away, and sliced bread quickly became something you'd find in almost every home around the world. Why is it called sliced bread? The name sliced bread is actually very simple. The bread is first baked in a rectangular pan, which gives it that perfect block shape. After it's baked, a machine cuts it into even slices. That's why we call it sliced bread. It's bread that's already cut and ready to eat. Step 1. Making the flour. Bread starts with one simple ingredient: flour, which comes from wheat. The journey begins with cleaning the wheat to take out dust, stones, and anything else that shouldn't be there. After that, the clean wheat is soaked in water for up to 24 hours. This soaking helps loosen the outer shell of the grain. Once it's soft, the wheat goes through big steel rollers that crush it into smaller pieces. These crushed pieces are then passed through fine sieves, which separate the soft, powdery part, which becomes flour, from the rougher parts. The leftover coarse bits don't go to waste. They are sent back into the machine to be crushed again. This process keeps going until they get smooth, soft flour that's ready to be used for making bread. Step 2. Transporting the flour safely. Once the flour is ready, it's loaded into big trucks and sent to bakeries. But here's something you might not know. Flour can actually be dangerous in some situations. Since it's such a fine powder, it can catch fire if there's a spark in a closed space. That's why workers take special safety steps. The trucks are grounded to stop any static electricity, and fans are used to keep the flour dust from flying around too much. Big bakeries can receive as much as 1,000 tons of flour every week. All this flour is stored in huge containers called silos until it's time to use it. Step 3. Mixing the ingredients. Now it's time to turn the flour into dough. In the bakery, the flour is moved from the silo into a big mixer. This huge machine mixes everything needed to make bread. The main ingredients are flour, yeast, which helps the bread rise, water, oil, vinegar, sugar, salt, and preservatives to keep the bread fresh for longer. Sometimes things like seeds or nuts are added by hand. All these ingredients are mixed together until they form a soft and sticky dough. This dough is now ready for the next step in the bread-making journey. Step 4. Mixing the dough. The mixer used in bakeries is really powerful and works very fast. Inside the mixer, the blades spin around 360 times every single minute. Mixing the dough usually takes about 8 minutes. This fast and strong mixing helps to make the dough soft, stretchy, and smooth. Exactly what is needed to bake good bread. When the dough is mixed well, it will rise nicely and have a great texture after baking. This step is very important because it helps the bread turn out tasty and easy to eat. One big batch of dough made in this mixer is enough to make up to 600 bags of sliced bread. That means just one mix can create a huge amount of bread that many people will enjoy. It's amazing how much bread can come from just one mixing process, all thanks to this powerful machine. Step 5. Cutting the dough. After the dough is mixed and ready, it moves to a big container where it is cut into smaller equal pieces. This part is done by special mechanical arms that quickly cut the dough. Then, sharp blades shape each piece into a perfect round ball. These machines work super fast. They can make about 192 dough balls every single minute. That's really quick. To make sure the dough balls don't stick together, they are lightly dusted with flour. This little sprinkle of flour helps keep each piece separate and easy to handle. Once the dough balls are shaped and floured, they are sent on to the next step in the bread making process. This part is very important because it gets the dough ready for shaping into loaves later. It's amazing how fast and smooth this process is, all thanks to the clever machines that help bakers make bread quickly and evenly. Step 6. Shaping the dough. After the dough balls are made, they move to a machine called a molder. This machine is very clever. It shapes each dough ball into the perfect loaf form. It works super fast, shaping up to 11,500 loaves every hour. That's an incredible speed, showing just how amazing modern bread-making machines are. Once the dough is shaped into loaves, each one is carefully placed into a rectangular baking mold. This mold helps the dough keep its shape as it gets ready for the next important step called fermentation. During fermentation, the dough will rest and rise, becoming soft and fluffy before baking. The molder's job is very important because it gives each loaf the right size and shape, so the bread looks just right when it comes out of the oven. It's fascinating to see how machines and careful steps work together to make the sliced bread we enjoy every day. Step 7. Letting the dough rise. Now it's time for the dough to rest and rise, which is called fermentation. During this step, the yeast in the dough starts to create tiny bubbles of gas. These bubbles make the dough get bigger and puffier. The dough sits in a warm room, about 45 dFc, for around 50 minutes. While it rests, the air bubbles form inside, making the dough soft and fluffy, ready to become delicious bread. Step 8. Final shaping. After the dough has risen, it is carefully stretched and reshaped. This step helps get rid of any big air bubbles inside and make sure the dough has the perfect shape before it goes into the oven. Step 9. Baking the bread. Next, the dough goes into a huge oven that's about 39 meters long, longer than a tennis court. The oven is very hot, set at 260 dC, and hot air blows all around to make sure the bread bakes evenly. The dough stays in the oven for about 20 minutes. When it comes out, the loaves have a nice golden color and smell amazing. Step 10. Cooling the bread. Hot bread can't be sliced right away, so it needs to cool down first. After baking, the loaves are taken out of their molds and moved to a special cooling area with giant towers. These towers help the bread cool down slowly over about 2 hours. Cooling makes the bread firmer and helps it keep its perfect shape for slicing. Step 11. Slicing the bread. Once the bread has cooled down, it moves to the slicer. This machine cuts each loaf into 20 even slices using very sharp steel blades that are about 2 meters wide. It works really fast and can slice up to 65 loaves every minute. To keep the slicing smooth and perfect, the blades are changed every 2 weeks so they stay sharp. Step 12. Packaging the bread. After the bread is sliced, it is packed into plastic bags. This is done automatically by machines that can bag up to 65 loaves every minute. Once the loaves are inside the bags, they are sealed tight to keep the bread fresh. Now the sliced bread is all set and ready to be sent to stores for you to enjoy. Total time, 5.5 hours. From the time the dough is mixed until the bread is packed and ready, the whole process takes about 5.5 hours. That's pretty quick when you think about how millions of loaves are made this way every week. Why preservatives are important? Sliced bread is soft and has a lot of moisture, so it can go bad quickly. To help with this, a little bit of preservatives is added. These preservatives keep the bread fresh for a longer time and stop bad bacteria from growing. What makes bread rise? The special ingredient that makes bread rise is yeast. Yeast is a tiny living thing that eats the sugar in the dough and creates gas. This gas makes bubbles that puff up the dough. Without yeast, the bread would be flat and heavy. Safety first in the bakery. Bakeries take safety very seriously to make sure the bread is both tasty and safe to eat. Flour dust can be dangerous, so strong fans are used to keep the air clean and safe. Machines are checked regularly to make sure they are working properly and without any problems. The temperature of the yeast is also carefully watched because it is important for making good bread. All these steps help keep everything safe and healthy. And that's the journey of sliced bread. From golden fields of wheat all the way to your kitchen table. Isn't it amazing how much work, care, and skill go into something we eat every day without thinking twice? Next time you make a sandwich or enjoy a piece of toast, will you think about the story behind each slice? Isn't it cool to know how machines, bakers, and simple ingredients all come together to make that soft, tasty bread? If you enjoyed learning something new today, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more fun and easy food-making stories. Want to see how butter is made too? Check out the link in the description. Thanks for watching.